Good evening, guys. Okay, so I'm under the impression that the Thorns Crusader is being played uh, maybe not to its best potential. So normally you see people running hack, they run bombardment or provoke, they use the Votire Spiker, uh, and they primarily rely on consecration to do their spike and burst damage. And people are saying they're having a hard time pushing through greater rifts. Uh, but I have found that using hack, which applies thorns damage to every attack, and my hack sucks, by the way, and then using a combination of Charo with Fate of the Fell, which gains additional rays of Heaven's Fury, and then using the Consecrated Ground, Blessed Ground, rune on Heaven's Fury, which lays a ground effect. See, ground effect. And using that ground effect does damage, but the way it does damage is multiple times over 1 second. So I feel like that's possible. That might be a bug, but we'll see. It does that so that if enemies pass over it, they don't miss a tick. They take some damage. That's how most ground effects work, like Molten and Plague. So if you run through it, you take multiple ticks that equal that amount of damage over 1 second. Well, what that means, though, is when they do damage, and we apply Thorns, then we apply a lot of Thorns damage all at once, and we just lay down Thorns damage. So let me show you what that looks like here in a new Greater Rift. So just hop into a level 62 Greater Rift, which I feel like is pretty easy for most people to do. But I think it'll give a good... Now you'll notice things aren't hitting me for me to have to kill them. That, I think, becomes the strength. And I'm also not using Consecration here yet. If I do drop Consecration, things happen quick, but not nearly as fast as exploding elites with Thorns damage from Blessed Ground. The other thing with Blessed Ground is that enemies don't have to be near you for the damage to happen. So if those guys are taking damage, all I gotta do is come stand next to these guys and they blow up without me having to take damage from them. And that, I believe, is coming from the two-piece bonus of my Invoker set, which does damage to all enemies within 15 yards around me. Each time I hit an enemy with Punish or Slash, I increase my Thorns by 50%. So what that means is I can drop my Blessed Ground and then just run through a pack. And because they're taking damage from Blessed Ground, the whole pack takes damage from Blessed Ground. So that multi-tick Thorns damage is being applied in triplicate to enemies in the desecrated effect and enemies around me again. So that just makes, I think that makes this Blessed Crown just a super damage multiplier for Thorns. Now, I picked up that power pylon. I probably shouldn't have done that, but regardless, I did. Now, as far as Consecration goes, applying Thorns damage every second, then that's still good to use. And I think the same will apply as if you drop Consecration and then run off to another pack, you'll continue to do damage to everyone in that pack. And because Consecration will stack on top of Blessed Ground, it makes it a good complementing skill. So, anyway, one thing I could do also is run the pony so that I can get a little extra movement speed, clear things out faster, group things up better maybe. I am not running, I'm running a Justice Lantern and essentially leaning on my block to provide additional damage through the Punish runes, because I am using Angel Hair Braid. So there's additional damage coming every time I block. Those guys hurt. And so every time I block, I explode. And my block chance is sitting at about 80%. But in testing this, I find that the primary damage output is coming from the Heaven's Fury rays. So I'll let you finish watching this and stop talking and blabbing about. Let me know what you think, and if you have any comments on this. I think Blizzard might look at this and refactor this skill, but I really hope they don't. I really like the synergy that it brings and the damage potential it brings. So there's that.
I wish I could do that. I enjoyed that.
I'm here to help.
Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch this and my shitty playthrough and shitty gear and babbling about. I will leave you with that.
Out of room. I'm returning to town.